Greetings, modelers. What we have today is the Mummy, the Revell reissue of the original Aurora Mummy kit. I bought this at a model show for $5, and it's been started. They've actually done a really good job. The color choices here on the base are not what I would have done. I would prefer it a little more reddish. These look a little bit too yellow to me. I think it should be kind of a little more pinkish color. I think it's supposed to be like sandstone, or I don't know, but so I'll be doing something with these, but they did a really great job. I mean, they glued these together. There's a really bad seam on this piece here. I've built this kit a couple of times, and they did a good job. They filled in the seam. It's painted. You can't really see it. And you know, this is kind of cool. It's kind of interesting the way they did it. I don't know. To me, it doesn't look right, so I'm gonna be making a couple of changes to it here. I've got this piece, and I don't think I'll have to repaint it. I can maybe paint over it, maybe tone it a bit, another layer of paint. I don't know. We'll see. The figure is put together very well. They sanded the seams. It looks good. It looks like we've got a coat of white primer here. It doesn't feel like paint. It feels like it's a flat white, which should make a good primer. So he's basically ready to paint. The only thing is he's got no head. He's got no head and he's got no hand. So that's a problem. Everything else is here. We've got the unraveling pieces of bandage here. Needs to be glued back on. We got the snake. The snake has been primed. He's not painted, but he's ready to go, I think. Looks like that. And then this guy goes like that. And so he's cool. This is a great kit. Like I said, I've built a couple of these in the past and thoroughly enjoyed them. So it's the exact same kit as the original 1960s, like 1963, I think, Aurora kit. It's been reissued so many times by Monogram, by Revell, and I got an Atlantis, Mobius, I think, Polar Lights. These molds have been around forever. And this one came from the 80s. It says copyright 1983 on it, I believe. So, Mummy's still going strong after all these years. So, for the head and hand, I did purchase some glow-in-the-dark Mummy parts. These kits, a lot of them came with a spare set of glow-in-the-dark parts in addition to the regular parts to make a glow-in-the-dark version. We've got a glow-in-the-dark head. We've got some loose bandages here that glow. There's a snake, but it does include the head and the missing hand right here. So I will use those to make up for the missing pieces, paint them up, hopefully nicely. Looks like the original head. It's just been through a billion pressings, a billion iterations, and we should have something fun. Should be a quick build, quick project, and we will get him all wrapped up. We will get him where he needs to be, and should be fun. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just see if I can maybe glaze this base here without having to repaint it. See if I can tone it down a little bit, change the color, and otherwise, you know, I'll just repaint the whole thing. But we're going to try it. So I got some transparent burnt sienna acrylic paint, and I'm thinking maybe it will work as a glaze. We'll try it. It's kind of a reddish brown color. there we go. Let's thin it out a bit. Maybe might need some glazing medium. I don't know, but we'll see if this is gonna work. See how it looks. I'll try it on the back, say, around here. It's working, maybe. It's toning it down some. Even, yeah, I don't know. That's a bit much, but see if that works. I mean, if not, I will just end up repainting the whole thing. But rather not, rather use what I got here. Yeah, that might be a little too red. Maybe I'm goofing it up. I don't know. What do we think? What is it? What am I thinking? Yeah, that might not work. Let's see. Okay, well, we'll see if we can work with it. In fact, I'm going to see about maybe toning this thing. And it may just be that it requires more than one coat, too. I'm not going to do the other one just yet. I've done a little bit of work on it. I think it looks better. I think we're getting there. I need to do something about these steps. I can't just really paint this color on this gray, so I need some primer. I don't really want to spray it. I'm just going to use some Mr. Surfacer here. I think that will work if I brush it on lightly, and it will look like, I think the paint will stick to that, and it will be light enough. Let's see. We got this. Lightly, this stuff is heavy duty. We don't want it to be too brush strokey. Just something like that, even just, yeah. All right. So yes, if I can get that to be a better color once it dries, then we'll be good. Okay, so we'll try some more opaque paint. I got this titanium white here. It's like a tinting white. It's not full thickness, but I think it will help. And maybe we'll mix in a little of this burnt sienna. I'm not sure how we're gonna work here. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little, it's a little more pink. I don't know. See, that's kind of what I had in mind, is kind of a sandstone color. It's hard to tell with the gloss here, the sheen. But yeah, I think that's looking pretty cool. As far as the color of the mummy himself, I would like to make him in some kind of cold colors. Just like I said, I'm making this up as I go along. It may change, but colder grays contrast with this warm sand color. So I'm going to color these steps in and It's all going to be kind of closer to the same color. And then I'll work on that big column. And then we'll start on the mummy himself. So we'll keep going. Yeah, see, this is... I don't know. What do we think? Get close to it. We're going to keep working. We can't stop now. We can't turn back. Okay, we're going to try to mix up a larger quantity of the base color here to paint that big column. This paint is old or what? I don't know. It doesn't mix very well. It's kind of gloppy, but we'll see. I think I can hold it here. Okay, something like that. And this is going to be, this is not the final color. It's going to, like I said, have a kind of a, hopefully, my plan is for a kind of a faded whitewash with some bits of color showing through here and there. Oh, well, okay, so I didn't mix it that great. Well, right. And the broken sections here, that would be the original stone color. Yes, need a smaller brush. I think maybe we can try this, try the steps now. See if we can mix up a good enough batch of this. In fact, perhaps a tiny little bit of some matte medium will extend it a little bit. Another drip. Yeah, this stuff's dry. Okay, so here's where we are. The base is looking pretty good. Got everything glued back together. Changed the color. It's a lot less yellow than it was. It's a lot redder. I think it's a little more. Looks a little more accurate. I don't know. We want the monsters to be accurate. We don't want false information here. But I put some fragments of the old original colors, you know, as I've mentioned many times before. You know, these Egyptian ruins were at one time painted very colorfully, and they've, you know, so we've got some remnants of what was left thousands of years ago. A little bit of green here. We've got the blue, and I'd like to think that this was originally red, but over the centuries it's faded and become kind of a brownish color. I still got to do this column here. Thinking of painting some of these little hieroglyphics. We've got the little bird, I guess the falcon or whatever it is. He's an ibis. Got some symbols here. I think they might have been painted originally. I think I'm going to leave this tablet here, these two pieces, probably just the way they are. Maybe deepen some of the indentations a bit. But there it is. I think is ready. I still have to paint the lettering here. I'm not quite sure what color to do it yet. I'll figure that out. It needs to be a darker color, contrast with the base. But so we're going to focus on the figure now. This doesn't really need that much work. A little bit of sanding here and there, not too much. It looks, like I said, whoever put this together did a pretty good job. And it's pretty much painted, or primed, ready to paint. And I've got the missing pieces here. His head, I've glued the two halves together. So I'm going to need to refine this, sand it down, see if I can get rid of this seam. And quite a bit of flash here on the seam. So try to make this as seamless as possible. And then, oh, is he looking that way? No, he's going to be looking straight ahead. But I believe something like that. I don't know if I'm going to need some putty or not. Gosh, I hope not. I really don't want to do puttying. And we've got his withered hand here, which is going to need a little bit of sanding here. The flash, get that out. So we shall keep going at it. So here he is, assembled completely. I've got all of the loose bandages glued back on. I even added an extra one here on the side. This is a non-standard loose bandage, but I had some extra ones, the glow-in-the-dark bandages, and this spot on his side was a little bit not real well finished, so rather than sand it some more, I thought, well, why don't I just try another? So I took one of the extra bandages, modified it a little bit. It's this one actually, so it doesn't look exactly like that one. I cut the side off and sanded it down a bit, so I think it'll work. He's looking pretty good. He's ready to go. He's just had a nice coat of Tamiya white primer, so I think we are going to start painting him. So let's try this. I've got this Vallejo German Camouflage Beige, World War II. And I got a little bit of just Vallejo Flat White. And we'll lighten it up just a tad. And then try to give it a little cooler tinge. I've got this. Hang on, I think I've got another one here. No, this is it. Just a tiny drop of this blue color. If I can get a tiny drop out. Yeah, that should do it. Something like that. A little bit of glazing medium, acrylic glazing medium. And we'll see if we can. All right. Let's see what we get. May need more white. Oh, look at that blue. Yes, definitely the blue is taking over. Okay. Now, I tested this earlier, unbeknownst to you, and it seemed to work very well. So let's add quite a bit more. There we go. Then we'll probably have to, yeah, it's kind of a tan gray, which is what I'm looking for. Not so blue. Almost greenish. Maybe this brush is too big, actually. What was I thinking? Okay. Let's try it. I started testing it out on the back, and it looked pretty good. So let's try it. Here we go. Oh, that's way too blue. Okay. I think. Yeah, I didn't want it that green. Okay, let's do some more of this. We got lots of this paint. And a little bit more white. Definitely don't need any more blue. That's a little bit more like it. Hope I have enough here. I think I will. I think I will. Okay. Well, it's still pretty gray. Let's see. Yeah, this is just going to be a base coat. There's going to be much more following. So he's not going to be the creature from the Black Lagoon. So how's he gonna look? Yeah, it's kind of what I had in mind. We need some contrast between his base and his bandages. Don't want him to blend into the scenery. He's no wallflower. He's serious. Let's see if I can get him to stand on his own 2 feet. Something like that. Yeah, he is, well, here, let's bring him out. Okay, so I did another wash of just diluted white on some of the highlights. His chest here up at the front, trying to highlight some of the areas around his face and pulling it forward, making him a little more three-dimensional, make it pop a little bit, try to get some shadow effects in there. So I think it's looking pretty good. We're still going to need some more solid highlights before we're done. Just make it a little more dramatic. Right now he's looking a little flat, but I like the tone. I like where he's going, where we've taken him so far. So I try to do something with some of these, some of the shadows, some of the dark tones. So I've just got this transparent raw umber, and which is just kind of a dark chocolate brown. And see if I can get some of the shadows to be a little more dramatic. Not sure how this is going to work. But if it doesn't work, we'll do it again. But let's see, I've always started on that little foot. Maybe we'll start in another spot and see how it goes. I don't want it too thin. I don't want it over everything. What about his knee? Right there. Also behind the bandages. A little more drama going on. Make this piece across him stand out a little more. Hopefully that will highlight his features. Let's fix that. So, the back, not that concerned about. I don't know if anybody's going to really be looking at the back. He's looking pretty good. He's not all. Oh, I should probably do this one. This is a big flap here. Accessory for him. Okay. I know it's hard to see. Yeah, that's yeah, he's looking okay. Having a great deal of fun doing this. So, regardless of how it works, how it ultimately ends up looking, this is a fun project. There's so much to do. This guy. Okay. Yep. Keep going.